whole thing about the Bible is I think that it's for individual revelation.
God can give you new revelation.
Alright.
Hey!
Nice and cozy right here.
fellowship.
Perfect.
All right, are we on?
Got my, yep, we're on.
Cool.
So, I was telling Robert, man, it was like a pill just to get out and drive. It was like an hour and 16-minute drive. And I had you guys on full blast with a bunch of songs going on.
Well, thank you.
You're our biggest fan, that's it.
You are. I wish there was about 3 million of you.
Yeah, you know what?
I don't need 3 million. I need a $500,000. That'd be fine.
A couple hundred.
We have,
A couple hundred.
we have a lot of fans.
In one night.
We have a lot of fans on the internet, but they don't come to our show.
Yeah.
That's because they're all far away.
We have internet.
We've got people in Germany.
We have lots of friends
and
in- yeah.
Japan, London, all over the place.
South America.
The most fans that I figure that we have though are
Mexico.
all in Brazil. We have like 500 fans there alone, but we can't get
It
there.
seems the Hispanics, they like metal.
Yeah.
You know, and they like
We have a lot of fans in
Christian.
Mexico,
They
too.
like Christian themed metal.
We have a lot of fans in Mexico. We have
We sing metal. We sing about God. Singing it.
Got about 75 friends, fans in Peru. One of them's a niece of mine from a previous marriage.
One of them's a Peruvian.
we did an interview a few years back with our old bass player, and this guy he told us that we had like one section that was all darkened out, and he said it was all overseas and like around Japan, Hong Kong. He said most of our fan base was in that general area. Remember that? In that general area. So we have a lot of fans overseas. London, and then Mickey Spectrum said we have a lot of fans.
Australia.
And Australia.
Australia, London, Japan.
Maybe we could recruit about 100 people to go out on the streets and protest.
Maybe we could play at the space
Turn
station.
some cars over and stuff.
We could play at the
My
International
love,
Space
I'm in
Station.
the middle of a radio interview. What happened?
That would be cool.
That'd be international,
Well, I'm
man.
thinking after this COVID thing, man, we're gonna have all kinds of people coming out.
Well, you know, if there's ever an after.
Because, well, it's not gonna keep going, what I'm saying, because, people are gonna be hungry for music, all the venues are closed.
We gotta pray about this.
All the venues are closed. A friend of mine, there's this place in Hermosa Beach called St. Rock, and they're selling it, but a friend of mine thinking about buying it,
How awesome
so
would
we
that
went
be?
to a music comedy club. He's thinking about buying it, calling it South Mid Live. My friend named Ken.
I'm back.
You remember the guy who went out the studio over there?
Yeah.
He's thinking about buying. He's thinking about buying St. Rock.
Well, if you can afford it, that would be
South Mid
sweet.
Live. He's a music producer, but the whole COVID thing, he's not doing nothing now. So he just lost everything.
All you have to do is pay the rent. I mean, unless he's gonna buy the
Yeah, he
building.
said he's gonna buy the building then.
Oh wow, that's a lot of money, man. That's in
He's
Hermosa
a
Beach.
music producer. Just
Well, we're really happy that you really enjoy our music and things like that. And thank you for your support.
We appreciate you, man. Really. I mean, you do-
It's
you do a lot
my
for us.
pleasure, man. I can't even describe or convey to people that I know this group. It's like, if you sat down and listened to them live, you would drive the LA
That's
traffic.
cool, man.
That's a compliment.
Because
Yeah,
to us people in
I
San
appreciate
Diego, it's
that.
like, oh, LA traffic. Well,
Right.
it's still not that bad.
Well, you
because
know,
of the COVID.
people are so busy these days. You know, they just get home from out there hustling and bustling and just the stress of everything. And the last thing they want to do is get on the freeway and go somewhere and do something.
And you got off work and came here.
Well,
But
it's the
That
right
was
time
nice.
of day though.
Saturdays.
Coming this way,
Saturdays.
no, I actually didn't have to work today,
Oh, wow.
which was
if
good.
we get one or two people,
I would
that
have
have-
came right after work, like maybe 3 o'clock or something.
If we get one or two people that have your enthusiasm and like our music and just want to come to our shows, pack a place out. And
Yeah.
every city,
Well, if it came down to it, if I would have worked today, I keep my boogie board, fins, and bathing suit in the car at all times. I'm like, okay, I'm going to the beach first, cool off.
that's
And
what,
then-
that's what you did when we.
But I didn't have to do that.
When you recorded at the studio, that's what you did. Remember?
Yeah, well, I went there and there was too many people, so I'm like, It's shark bait when
But
it's crowded.
for someone to say that that our music is what draws you this way, man,
Yeah.
and you live like what 2 hours from here?
Yeah,
that's
and if it comes down to it, I'll go to the beach, cool off, and everything will be
that's an honor.
Perfect.
See?
Well, thanks for coming
I appreciate
and
it.
supporting the band.
Thank you for the support. I love it.
well.
And if you can do me a favor, my wife just called. You can send this to her after you're
I'd
done.
love to. Yeah.
After you're done, you can send this to her on Facebook.
All right.
That would be nice.
I don't have that problem no more, so I don't got that problem no more. So I ain't gotta worry about it.
Well, you got the girlfriend, though, right?
Yeah, well,
She couldn't make it?
She couldn't. She said she couldn't find it.
Oh man.
She
Couldn't find it.
No, she couldn't.
It's like
find
the
it.
easiest.
She went the
thing to
wrong
find.
way. She went the wrong way. She was.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what did you want to share? Find out about the band?
The ultimate update for 3 Days in the Grave. The Kryptonite, Volume 1.
Yeah.
This is like Kryptonite Bongo Boy Records,
Right.
Volume 1.
Right.
And between Imran Ahmed, 3 Days in the Grave, and Greg Whitestock, 3 of you guys are on that one production.
Yeah, it's
Right.
pretty awesome.
And then there's the Dolly Parton thing.
Right.
So how did you guys manage to, Robert, how did you guys manage to get on that Volume 1 Bongo Boy Records?
Well, it's interesting is because these people reached out to us at first, and I believe it was Greg that the head of the Bongo Boy Records reached out to Greg, and Greg, tossed the idea at us, and so we decided to throw the song "My Love for You" on there. But then I started thinking, why are we ever going to stop there? Let's, throw a few more songs out. And we talked Imran into throwing a song on there. And then as of recently, our bass player, Greg, has decided to start writing some songs. And we're working on adding those to our shows as well, the songs that were on that record.
And that album is
That's nice.
That album is being submitted to the Grammy Recording Academy.
The Grammy what?
Recording Academy.
Okay.
Recording Academy. Yeah.
The Grammy Recording Academy
Academy.
now has a submission for
Yeah, for the Kryptonite. Right?
Kryptonite.
Yeah.
And it's
We'll need
not really sure what
KRYPT, and then it's 2 lines, like
It's
a numeral 2.
Roman numeral 1 and
Yeah.
2 ones. So
Yep.
it's 2
But-
in Roman numerals.
Yeah.
Crypt, KRYP, 2, Roman numeral 2. Knight, like a knight, like a knight, on a
Yep.
horse with the whatever those things are called.
Yeah. And either way you spell it online.
GHT.
Yep. But any way you spell it online, either the Roman numeral, you'll have to do the 2 L's, but it doesn't matter. You can even do the number 2 and it'll still
I do
pull it out.
capitalize.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, so that's
Capital
cool.
L.
small L I think works, but
Yeah.
I use capital I's.
So we're actually on
And,
the album twice.
But fortunately, it still comes up.
But you can go on Bongo Boy Records. That's pretty easy to find, and
Yeah.
they have the list of all the different albums that they've come out with.
Well, one of the things that we found out that, just like the Beatles found out when they were doing studio songs, that sometimes songs that they did in the studio weren't so easy to recreate in a live setting. So we're working on making sure that live songs that we did in the studio will be done live
We don't
soon.
quite have the resources that the Beatles had.
No, but
How many hours did they spend doing Hey
And the thing is,
Jude?
when you have somebody from Pakistan, it's so far away, you can't get them here to, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So we got to do it ourselves, and then unless we get him on a big screen, how is he gonna feel the, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because it's
And
like
somehow
it's
he
like,
does it.
It's like no, I mean, how is he gonna feel in Imran's part? you know what I mean?
Imran created those
I
songs,
mean,
so
yeah, he created them. So
they're unique to him, and it's pretty cool that he included us in it. But without Imran, it's really kind of
yeah.
pointless.
hard
So
for us to do.
unless we get him on a
because
big screen or something.
He's the one that's
He's
got
here.
the. He's the
He's
song
a good
comes from
mastering
him. He created
partner.
that song, and it comes from him. So like we can do our little parts in there, but you know, really, if we don't have him,
it's not going to be the
it's
same.
not gonna be the song.
Yeah. So the song "My Love for You,"
That's my song.
that's one of them that you were
That-
doing at the
that's on
studio,
there,
right?
yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
one of our songs.
That's our song.
So how did you get it on Kryptonite?
Okay, so-
did Imran finish it?
No, we finished it in the studio.
I talked him into.
Yeah, we went
Oh,
into.
okay, you went
so,
on a
so
second.
her, that song I can.
Dennis did it.
That was the first song we
That
put
was the
on.
first song that we actually went in the studio and recorded
The
together.
one that
with-
I was with you?
No,
that was
hanging out with
no.
another time.
There's a, same studio though.
Yeah.
Same studio,
What's
but
that
that was
guy's
a
name
different
again?
time.
Dennis.
Dennis.
Yeah.
Dennis Rennick, Rock Zion Records. And
So, but
Producer extraordinaire.
in my opinion, that particular
Dennis
song
Rennick
also
Rennick's-
represents the best of what we do. And I kind of wrote that song. I started that song in 1982 and then put it in a guitar case and never touched it again until 2011.
So right now, the only way they can get that MP3 is from that Kryptonite.
Oh, no, I could send them one too.
Well, you could send them one, but it's not on any other
No, we have
production.
not finished that album. That's in the works. We have 3 songs recorded right now. There's on YouTube. We have videos
Of the songs that we have
of
finished.
the 3 songs.
And what about Spotify? Anything you have an MP3 on is it's available on
Not at the
Spotify.
moment,
Not
but he
30
does.
Days in the Grave. My album is my solo album, which is Face to Face.
Faces,
Is on,
face to face.
Well, one of the things that
Is on every.
Greg is really blessed to have the job that he has because it gives him more free time than the rest of us. Gene not having so much free time because he's got 3 little kids. And then I work in a hospital as a respiratory therapist, so my free time is limited to however they decide to schedule me. So he was blessed to be able to go into the studio and have just a little more time to work on that.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know if you remember being a kid when it seemed like a day lasted for a long time, and now you blink your eyes and the day is gone.
Yeah.
It's crazy how that
In a year from one age to another.
Oh yeah, yeah.
More, it just seemed like forever. Couldn't wait to be 15.
Yeah.
Couldn't wait to be 17.
To drive.
When I was 8 years old, a day was like how fast Christmas comes now. You know?
Yeah. That's yeah,
Almost.
I think when you get past 30, it seems to be.
That's like
Well, I just turned 59
Christmas
this, a couple of days, about 15 days ago,
Yeah.
and 59's weird. You know, I don't feel any different than I did at 24, except when I wake up in the morning and get out of bed. And I make the same noises that I used to hear my father make when he got up out of bed. And it's like, oh man, I've become my father in that at least aspect. But tonight, when I was on stage, it was so awesome just to be able to play for people. And, you know, I would like to make money doing it, but the feeling I get when I'm out there on stage, that's almost payment within itself in
It
a
is.
way.
And that's how I feel driving up here. It's no big deal. But you, COVID situation or not, you feel like that every time, right?
Yeah. And when we were in the
It's even
studio
more
the other
valuable now, I think, with the COVID thing, because like it's been so hard to get gigs and like nothing's happening. And for us to be able to get out here and play, even if there's just like, you know, we had a small crowd, but it was nice, you know, and they
Yeah,
were
but for Gene too, man, he's had a really hard time with his kids and stuff, and I'll let Gene speak about that.
Well, I had a really tough year. My year started off really bad, and you know, lost everything. Was homeless. I ended up in the shelter. I became a single dad, and I prayed, Lord, you know, I need help, you know, and then he started sending people my way to help me out, and then he decided that it was time to shut the door with that, and he got me involved with this organization called Path, and they put me up in a place, and they'll keep me in the place until and they're trying to help me find permanent housing.
It's called PATH, P-A-T-H?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So it's funny how that happened because I was going to Hollywood, you know, playing music, getting money, and my friend let me use the bongos. So we go all the time. My kids with me, and we're on the train. We end up in downtown Long Beach, and I was gonna get off right there and just catch the 232 and go back to the hotel. but something told me no, go to the end. It was just like something was just holding me there. I think God hold me there. So I get off, and the lady's like, "Are you homeless?" And I was like, "Yeah," but I was kind of scared. All I saw was the cops around me. They had clipboards, and I didn't see her badge or badge turned on. So I kept saying no, because I thought it was a CPS. The cops like, "Look, we're not here to take your kid. We're here to help you, especially the COVID thing." So I said, "Oh yeah, I'm homeless." So she goes, "Okay, I'm gonna put you up." So within 2 hours, I was put up in the place. I've been, God's been blessing me.
Yeah,
I've been in the place for like a month.
That was
I
a
talked
total
about
blessing.
Yeah, because remember I talked to you about that for a while.
It was a miracle, yep.
And I was just with 3 kids, man. It's really hard, and being a single parent, people don't understand my situation. They don't know what's going on, but that's for another time.
Yeah.
But I've been fortunate to have God help me. He's had friends help me.
Yeah, the steps of a righteous man really are ordered by God.
Yeah.
And it's interesting is because we got to rehearse the other day for the first time in months.
I haven't played in months, man. It was like even Howard said I was just very calm and just it was like I've been practicing every day.
He noticed the difference.
Well, we noticed a difference completely, and it
I
was
could
like
tell on the video.
that feeling
He
that
looked calm.
feeling that I had out here on the stage tonight, I had in the studio.
Well, the reason why I had that is because
We seem to be
my kid's mom
just
used to stress me out, man.
relaxed.
Yeah.
She would stress me out, and then
We
I
were
would,
playing the rockin' tunes, but we had a relaxed feeling. Like
Yeah.
that-
And it's funny is because a lot of times I'd come here feeling nervous, and I didn't even feel that tonight.
No.
I felt just
It was
like,
it was like the peace of God.
Yeah.
It's about time.
It was like the peace of God.
Well, that
You know what I mean? And I think my problem is that I was stressed out because, I was involved with a woman that just started not caring about her family, and she was stressing me out, making me sick, and I realized that, I went to the doctor because my stomach, he's like, you're under a lot of stress, man, you gotta do something. So I decided, you know what? And I told her one day, I just washed my hands of you. I don't hate you, but you stress me out.
Yeah.
I can't deal with you. You're not gonna change. And she'd already told me, that, so I was okay. So she'd given me the kids. She said, the kids are yours. She's even told Lady at Path, the kids are his because I know that they're taken care of. So God has worked that out. Because I've been praying, Lord, if you want this, fix it. God, she only got fix it. So God's telling me it's done. So I told her, so ever since I did that and I let God take control of my life, He's been blessing me. I've had my kids. My kids haven't been out the street.
Yeah.
My kids got people buying me clothes for my kids. I'm buying clothes myself for my kids. People give me brand new. This guy from the organization came and brought my kid brand new clothes. I'm like, thank God. God's been taking care of me. I'm just glad I got my friends. I can come and jam every once in a while. And
never seen the righteous forsaken.
it's
Exactly.
funny. It's funny when you say, "Oh, Gene got to get out and play." Well, it's pretty much true, man. I mean, because I have a big responsibility, which I'm not complaining about it. I don't complain about it. But to do music, man, when you're around all with your kids, you can just sit down and relax and do music.
It was awesome.
It's a God thing, and that gives me the relaxation I need.
It's a classic example on how God works God works progressively through you.
Right.
In the midst of
A terrible
our
situation.
relationships.
Yeah, and I think
It doesn't matter the relationship we're going through, God will still work through you
Yeah,
and
well,
bring
that's
you
our
to
life,
a new
you know?
that
place.
thing that he
We
was
live
saying
our
out
life.
there.
Yeah.
That thing he was saying out there, when God's done with him, then God's done with him. Okay, well,
And he did
first,
it with me.
yeah, first of all, God's not done with me yet. But second, and I told this to my kid mom. This is my ministry, okay? So if you're gonna interfere with my ministry, God's gonna come down on you because you can't interfere with what God's trying to do. And if God's using me in ministry to do music, and I'm spreading the word spreading His word through music, and you come in between that, you got to stand before God for that, not me.
Yep.
Because this is what God gave me. Because she's like, why do you and a band ain't going nowhere? Because that's what God wants. God doesn't want me to be famous. God doesn't want me to be rich. This is what God wants from me right now.
Maybe He does.
And what an interesting
Well, yeah,
time
well,
that the
in
whole
his
world
time.
is going through.
In His time, yeah. In
Not
His time.
only are you
can't
going
do
through
it
this whole
because of
world
that
pandemic,
reason, you know?
you're going through this, and it's like.
But you know what?
The only
Even
thing I
though we're
went
going
through
through all
was
that
the
stuff, God has
1980s.
been supplying our needs.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
amazing, man. It's like-
And my riches are in heaven, man.
It really is
I tell
amazing.
everybody, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm not doing this to get rich. I'm not doing this to take over the world. I'm not. I'm doing this because if one person can get saved from the music we do, You know, even though
That's
I'm
what
not
it's all
singing it,
about.
even though I'm not singing it, I'm up there playing it.
Yeah.
And people can hear him singing us doing the music, and then one person gets saved, my job is
It was
done.
worth
And
it.
even if you think you're just singing to the choir, if saved people can be encouraged.
Exactly.
It's all good.
You've had people come
It's
up to
all
him.
positive.
You have people come up to him at the Whiskey Go-Go and be like, you know what? That I wasn't sure about you, but that My Love for You Jesus song, I really like that. And people actually got saved from that song, man.
Yeah, and Robert was sitting down talking to a couple of old timers, and just think how blessed these old timers were. It was like, yeah,
That's
this is
such
nice.
an amazing
This
song.
is nice to just sit
That's-
down
Well,
with somebody.
What was interesting is this lady that I work with brought her brother, and her brother had a great time. Thought it was fantastic. He's in the Navy,
Uh-huh.
so he's off on furlough right now, and wanted to hang out with his sister. And his sister wanted to come and check us out because she hasn't
seen it?
seen us in a while.
Oh yeah.
Because you know,
Oh,
the last
that's
time,
that guy that was sitting there.
yeah,
I remember
last time we saw her was at the Whiskey A Go Go.
Oh,
Oh, that was a long time ago.
oh, that one. Oh, I know who you're talking
Oh yeah. I remember
Just to be in an out of the ordinary moment in this COVID thing is like,
about. I know. It is. It's such a nice break from the.
so.
And it's nice to go into a place that not have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
I mean, because when you go into a grocery store, you gotta wear a mask.
Well, you know, we're using this. We're still keeping our distance, though.
Yeah,
Here,
exactly. Yeah.
you know.
Not right now.
Well,
Look how close I am to you.
Yeah, nobody's like screaming and shouting or whatever in their conversations, being real animosity and stuff. Because
Yeah, this is.
but you know what? I really love these guys, and really happy that they're my friends and that they put up with me, even though I'm a little on the insane and crazy side.
Yeah,
I've known this
you
guy.
can be
I've known
irritating
this
at
guy
times.
my whole life, man.
you what?
I've known this guy my whole life since '85. I've known him.
Okay.
Almost my whole life, man. He's my brother. He ain't just a friend.
I was 21. So you
I'm
must have been
closer.
about-
These
I'm
guys
closer to
have
him than
been
my
together
brother.
for a long
I'm
time.
closer to him than my
These
brother.
two guys.
We got back together. What's interesting is because
Oh, yeah.
we stopped playing together for a while, and then I was driving down the street around 2000,
It was 2000.
end of 2000, and I looked over at this bus stop, and I go, man, that looks like Rob. Well, Lord, if you want me to get together with him again after I drop my son off, he'll be there when I get back, and he was.
And what was funny is that I was working across the street from his house in the hospital. I used to work at the company used to make rotation cabinets. And I used to see the house all the time when I used to look. I said, well, that's a nice house over there. I didn't know it was his house. But when I seen him, I thought he was a cop because he looked all nice and stuff. Because when I met him, he didn't have anything. I mean, he was just, you know what I mean? I'm like, he's like, you remember Gary and Robert? I'm like, oh yeah. And he said, no, I'm Robert, not Gary. And then that's when he goes, I told him, he said, you still doing music? I went, well, I'm playing a little. He goes, well, let's do coffee shop music. So he said,
And then we were doing acoustic and sitar gigs then, because I could play the sitar and play the acoustic guitar, and I didn't really need another musician. And if I did have another musician, it was nice, but I didn't have to rely on anybody. Where Greg and I, we played one night here with just him playing bass and me playing guitar, and it was all right, but it wasn't fantastic.
Oh, we
like
tried
tonight.
to play the 3 Days in the Grave songs without Gene. So
Yeah.
those songs are very signature, all the riffs and everything. They're not like just regular songs, and the drums. Gene and Robert have been together for so long, played those songs together. Gene knows every single little nuance of what Robert's gonna do.
Then you got that duel of the
one time
vocals
yeah,
between
he's
you two.
One
That
time
was
his stepson was setting up the stuff to record it. Remember that time and Robert said, why don't you play one of our songs? Just play it with no music. And I played Go Count by 25 by myself, on the drums with no music. I just
All
did
the breaks and everything.
all the breaks. I did. I just
Go
music
Can't
was in
Buy.
my head. Yeah, Go Can't Buy.
Yeah.
I did all the breaks. I knew exactly where to put everything. And they're like looking at me, and I did the whole song by myself.
Yeah, that was trippy.
So it just goes to show you that if
It's in your DNA.
when you play with somebody for so long, it's like you know the stuff. So when you try to get someone else in there to do it, so they can't do it.
We
for
tried
someone.
that.
Because unless they sit down and know Robert and they play with them,
It didn't
they
work.
can't do it. Because they got the guy Pierre, and then he used to play with Black Flag, and he couldn't do it.
No.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing is that basically my music I write to go for my lyrics. So sometimes it's not quite within 4/4 thing. I'm a unique writer, all right?
But
They
you have,
found
to
it
know,
out.
you have to know exactly where to put the drums in and stuff.
But-
His music.
But my music's also something you either like or you don't like. There aren't people who just go, oh, it's okay.
We get more likes and dislikes, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
We got more likes and dislikes. I think
It's pretty cool.
I think out of
All
every,
somebody's got to do is just listen to a good
yeah,
MP3 of
and, you know, and the music is what's catchy, and then you know, but then when they hear
Listen to it
the
on
lyrics, oh,
Spotify.
then they get all freaked. When they hear the
Something like
Jesus thing, they get all freaked out. But the music is what catches their eye.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause you'd be
That
surprised.
reminds me of that
YouTube
guy.
just doesn't cut it, but if you listen to somebody's song on Spotify, iHeartRadio, you know it's an MP3.
Right.
We did
You
the show.
should turn your speakers up.
We're
That's
doing
when
Whiskey
it came
Go-Go,
to life
and
for me.
we were doing a sound check one time, and
Oh,
this guy
yeah.
was like,
YouTube got me because I'm not prejudiced of, you know, bass and vocals and you know, the speaker effects, treble and all that. I could tell by listening to a YouTube that it's a good song.
Yeah, that
I'd
guy was
rather
like-
hear it in MP3.
we played the Whiskey Go-Go one
Wow.
time where we were doing our sound check, and this young kid came up to us and he goes, "You guys are a Christian band?" And we go, "Yeah." And he goes, "You guys are very dark for a Christian band." Remember that?
Yeah.
You know, we got the
But what about that show you were getting ready to say?
Oh yeah, that time that was so funny. We're up on stage at the Whiskey, and
Oh,
and we start playing "My Love for You,"
Yeah.
and "My Love for You's" got the most infectious
the
groove.
riff in the beginning, I was like,
The beginning of it is
The riff is,
just
like,
heavy,
incredible,
man.
man.
So like the people at the Whiskey are all
Banging their heads.
tripping out. Their heads start turning and spinning around because Robert starts getting into that heavy riff, and some guy comes out of the people were kind of like up against the back wall, you know, because they're like, oh, I don't know how this band's gonna be, you know.
Jesus thing, Jesus
So
thing.
this guy just bolts out of the people that were all
He's
huddled in
banging
the
his
back,
head.
like hiding from the band, you know, and he comes out and he's like, yeah, 'cause the riff is
And then
so
I go,
heavy.
Jesus!
And then he goes, Jesus! That's the first word.
And the guy all of a sudden,
So here's the dude. Here's the dude. I'll do it for the video. Here's the dude. He's all, yeah! And then do the
Jesus!
That's funny.
He turns around, he kind of goes like this and turns around. Like,
Whoa.
It's like
He goes, oh, they got me.
I remember that.
whatever demon was in that guy was just like took him away.
Yep.
man.
But dude, we did a show here one time.
Oh, he had to brace himself.
It was
up.
so funny. I'm up on stage and I just start busting up. I'm trying to play, you know. And I was looking at that guy. It was so funny.
We did a show here one time.
I
we
still
did
got
that-
to
we
see
did that
my
song
friend
here.
Gary Lee at Whiskey a Go Go.
We did that song here one time. My Love for You.
Yeah.
And there were kids were actually doing a mosh pit here, dude.
Oh
We have it on video. Kids are doing a mosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. One day
The young people.
That's why you guys got to get some swag.
One guy
Like
came
take
from San
pockets
Diego. He was
though,
a
right?
punker dude. He came all from San Diego.
Swag.
He had a mohawk and everything. He was like lead the whole thing. They were like
Yeah.
doing a mosh thing.
I got a little bit
Yeah,
of the
they do a
mosh
little
pit,
clip.
guys.
That's like the Jericho March
On
on
the
the
new
Pentecostal
video.
churches.
Yeah, it was like
It's the same
man,
thing.
I mean, when you see stuff like that, like you see these young kids and how they like your stuff. And,
They were getting
you know,
into it.
we're like old dudes, you know what I mean? But when you see,
Yeah.
it's like, man. That's
Well, there was that one time we were at the Doll Hut over there in by Disney, over by Disneyland, yeah, and it's a cool little place. But we were playing there, and it's basically they have like 10 bands, and that's your crowd.
Yeah.
You know, so all the musicians are just waiting for their turn to play. You know, so we're up there playing, and they're all outside smoking weed and hanging around all around, not really paying attention to the band, just waiting for their turn to
People were
play.
peeking
And then I
out
did the
that
Gateway
door,
to
so
Hell.
We
we
started
started
playing
tonight.
Gateway to Hell, and that was when we first started playing.
They all
that
came
tune.
inside. They all came in.
That groove is so unusual and so different, and the drum beat is just crazy weird, right? It's like nothing you've ever heard. So there's no song like it anywhere. So all these heads start peeking in the door, and there's all these young guys.
Because all you hear is Gateway to Hell, you know, and then you don't even hear the
And
other
then
stuff.
next-
All you hear is Gateway to Hell. You're like, oh,
They like that, yeah.
because
So
it's
they all
Gateway to
come in.
That's,
They
that's one of them that gets
they
me
all
my
come
heart.
in, and they're all intrigued by
Hell.
it.
It's metal,
you know?
dude. It's like pure.
They're all
metal.
intrigued by the unusual tune that they're hearing, and they
Yeah.
all came in and were checking us out.
Okay, well, say,
That was
okay,
kinda cool.
okay. Picture it this way, okay. What if you're drinking and you're smoking weed, okay, and all you hear is "Gateway to Hell," and you figure everything out.
Yeah, it's
Ooh,
like
you know,
Highway to Hell. That's all
yeah.
I
So
know.
you hear "Gateway to Hell" and you think, "Oh wow, he's saying Gateway to Hell. Let's go see what he's about." You know what I mean? That so when he wrote that song, he knew what he was doing because he knew how to catch people. Because you know, if you start being preachy, people aren't gonna.
Yeah,
I mean,
like when you go, Jesus! The guy hides under a rock as soon as
So
he says
I've been wanting to get a testimony from you too, because
Hey, Casey.
your accident with your eye, it segued
Yeah, we're in the
recovery
room having a little
Segue
radio
into the COVID
interview.
thing.
We're still
No, my
here.
accident with my eye was
Talk
a
about
different
how
one.
grave that was.
Do they want to leave?
How grave was it really?
Okay.
The accident with the eye was before
All right.
the actual.
All right. I'll be on in a
You
second.
recovered and everything, and
No,
They want us to go.
the eye one. The eye one was the one that was skateboarding injury before, like a year before.
oh, that was already a year.
The one where I hit my head. and got-
My charger.
We're like in
Yeah.
a lockup.
Here's
Like,
my
where
charger.
are they? We're like searching the parking lot. We're like,
We'll
I
talk
guess they
about
just
that
left.
later.
I guess they just.
I wanted to do a quick radio interview.
Oh, we're like, man.
We were doing the interview.
We're getting kicked out.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
That's where you got. We thought you guys raptured out of
Raptured
here.
before all of you. Dude, we're scary, dude. You guys raptured out of here. We're in trouble.
Hey.